good morning. Margaret and I are about to get on a big coach. We're waiting for it to pull up. We're going out to one of the local iron ore mines. We're doing a full commentary tour of the mine, of how it works and the sums of everything and the weights and the scales and how it actually started and begun back in the day. And it should be very interesting footage, so you're going to see that in just a minute. I think it's the 9th of July, and it's a Saturday. And thanks to Matty Cullen, who lives here but not for much longer. He's coming back to Geelong, but he had tickets to do this mine tour, and he come down here and booked it in with me yesterday. So it hasn't cost us a cent, but it's $70 and for both of us. And Matty, when you see this, not only do I appreciate your friendship, my friend, but what you've done for us while we're here in Tom Price. You've made us feel very, very, very welcome. You've given us your car, your house, and your friendship and your love, mate, and we really appreciate it, and thank you so much.
Thanks, Matty.
I'll never forget it, mate. So thanks for the tour, and I hope you all enjoy it and have a great day. It's day 86 for us today on the road, still over 100 days to go. So Margaret and I are having the time of our life, and we both deserve it.
And today we look like minions.
Minions with our bloody mushrooms on our head. See you guys, talk soon. Hope you enjoy it. What do you reckon, Lance? Here we go. What do you reckon?
Yeah, no, it's going to be very interesting.
It should be a great day. I was thinking, Jean, if I asked the lady that's taken the tour, she might let me drive.
Oh, God, no.
Nah, need seatbelts for that.
You've all got your hard hats, your closed-in shoes and glasses. If I can ask that you have your mobile phones on silent, please. And also, if you have a chat to the person next to you, but if you can keep it quiet, because it's a bit disrupting if we are talking loud while people are trying to listen to commentary. Is this your first time in Tom Price? Awesome, nice, it's a beautiful little town. So I'll give you a little bit of history on that. We will be getting out at the Prongs Lookout, and you are welcome to take as many photos on the mine as you like. So Rio don't have any restrictions with regards to photography. Seatbelts need to be fastened at all times, please. And the good news is no longer are masks needed on public transport. We have a bit of freedom, which is wonderful. All right.
Wallaby.
That it has tires that have got chains around it. Now, those tires are worth $70,000 each. Notice these blue trays. So these have recently been, they're sort of bringing these trays in to replace the heavier trays that they used to use, mostly that we'll see around the mine site. That you're looking at has a 14-ton bucket on it, depending on the quality of iron inside here. So the hopper loads fines or iron ore that is 6 millimeters and small, and the ore gets loaded at 120 tons in 19 seconds. This is extremely unusual to see paper flying around a high-grade stockpile. This mine. All these mounds of dirt you see around it. So we have a couple of haul trucks and 2 water carts parked up in this lay-down area. percentages.
So the grades that they distribute on the trains back into Karratha depends entirely on the customer in China, whether what grade they want, what size they want, and then they mine it accordingly and give the customer what they want. So we all know that this process is almost unfathomable. What the scale of everything here is extremely different to anything that man's used to in a regular, normal environment, if you like. But yeah, it's fascinating. We're enjoying it, and it's a lot of fun. The tonnage on those trains, 125 tons per carriage. There's 230 carriages on each train, plus the locomotives. There is 33,000 tons all up per train load, including the train when they send it down the tracks. The trains have nobody driving them. It's all done electronically. It's all controlled from Perth in an office. And yeah, the train lines, the train actually triggers the red lights when the train goes down the line. If you've ever been involved in a toy train model set when you were younger, or even as you got older, there's a lot of similarities there as to how things work electronically. A lot of these Euclid trucks, I'm going to turn the camera around in a minute. They've all got numbers on them, and they've got no one in them. That's called the main haul road, and you see to the left of the left truck the pile of dirt. It's on both sides. It's called windrows. It's there to protect anyone outside the windrow. If something goes wrong with the vehicles, they can, the windrows are designed to stop the trucks. So it's a little bit windy where we are, but you can see that hill in the background there. That one hill, there's more than 10 years worth of mining just in that one hill. Just to give you an example of how long these mines last. Every process they go through needs to be cleared through federal and state government. They can't just keep digging and digging and digging. It's all got to be documented and cleared with state and federal government to do the next procedure. So the reason why it's called Tom Price, well, Mark Tom Price, but they just Tom Price stuck. There's a man many years ago, and one of his offsiders flew their helicopters into this area, 1965 it was, and they discovered the world's best grade of iron ore. So this is how it begun, but believe it or not, it took them a long time to get their permits organised and cleared through state and federal government. Once they actually got it through, Tom Price died 2 hours after the initial red tape was cut from a massive heart attack. So hence the reason why Tom Price is called Tom Price. That's the reason why the town exists, because of that man, and that's why the mining process here still runs today at a very, very, very big scale. So there's more sums on it. I'm learning more and more every 5 minutes that we're here, so we'll bring you more shortly. They're doing around 60 to 70 kilometres an hour, getting a bit of a run up for the hill. But by the time he gets halfway up that hill fully loaded, he'll be back into first gear and doing around 20 kilometres an hour. And it'll be back into first gear, and it'll just crawl to the top. the rest of the way. So you can imagine there's quite a lot of waste that comes out of all mines, but what they do with the waste in the Tom Price mine is they use it on their roads and their windrows. Hence these are the windrows for protection to identify all the different areas and roads. So all the waste does get used, and yeah, they use the water to control the dust and cool the roads down on very hot days, because the heat in the roads actually affects the tyre wear and can damage the tyres quite a lot. So they spray all the water on the roads, and it protects the tyres. Some of the big machinery here with rubber tyres that are worth over $70,000 each tyre, they cover them in chains just to protect them from sharp objects. So at 70 grand a pop, they certainly need to be protected. So you can see that really dark black product down there before it gets to the water. It's a material very, very close to coal. It's actually combustible and will light. They've actually had it all smoulder here not that long ago, and the smoke that comes off it's extremely toxic and dangerous to humans. So they regulate the temperature of that. But yeah, it's got nothing to do with the iron ore process. It's rubbish in this mine, but that's what's under the surface. It's the dark brown that you can see up on the hill and in the face of it all. Like this mountain here, this used to come across to where I am, and this was all one mountain. So they've been here for 50 plus years, 56 years or something I think it is. And yeah, they'll be here for probably hundreds of years to come. But there's iron ore mines all over WA, and I'd hate to put a number on it, but we've been here for 4 days and there is mines everywhere.
Hi Dad, hope you're well. As you can tell, Paul and I and Kurt are still having a wonderful time, and so much more to see. Love you.
We're having a good time, Al. And, you know, I know you're a man of knowledge. I know that from what Margaret's been telling me. These places are very interesting, and I hope you enjoy. Big shout out to Seth and Jackson, my boys in G-Town. Hope yous are going well. I miss yous like crazy. Mum, love you darling. And yeah, I can't wait to see you in Darwin, boys. In about 3 weeks. It'll be ace. Can't wait to see you. And my little mate Fletcher down in, if my memory serves me correct, he's down in Gippsland. We met in Rapid Bay. You're a little champion, mate. Keep listening to Mum and Dad and doing what you do, matey. You've got a massive, massive future, Fletcher. So it'd be nice to see us all again. So big shout out to you guys, all the Ghost Riders in Geelong. Yeah, mates at the swimming pool. All the boys I grew up with, Cry Footy Club, Matty Cullen, he's coming home, boys. So there's some good times ahead. So I hope you are enjoying the footage on YouTube, and Margaret and I will be back sometime around Christmas.
I mentioned to a couple of you earlier, just there are 16 iron ore mines. So again, this is the hopper, the graveyard. Now this is decommissioned haul trucks, so they are no longer, they've reached their lifespan. any parts that are still in good held to our left-hand side is the primary crusher. So there are 4 conveyor belts coming out of this crusher. So the 2 to the left are conveyor belts for Tom Price mine, 40 years. So there's another 40 years of life in this mine. So the process in here, the iron ore is washed and screened. It then goes onto the conveyor to the high-grade stockpiles, straight onto the second time. I have no one behind me, so I'm going to pause to the side if you want to take. So this conveyor you see quite close to us is from Western Turner, and that is a high-grade stockpile, secondary crusher. You can see there's some people working on the pond. That is the separation pond. So all the waste that comes out of the concentrate or beneficiation plant goes into the separation pond. So then gets pumped into the tailings dam that we saw a little earlier. The waste, solid waste from the separation pond. Buckets on it, and what it does is it moves along these tracks to the various fines stockpiles. Notice how slowly that train is moving. That's actually already been loaded. So the road, and that's the tunnel where the trains come to get loaded with. It's laid out an area of just platforms that they'll use in the maintenance.
Well, after that mine tour, we've just called into the local Brumbies for a cuppa and a pie. Margaret, can you remember the scale and the stats on loading the trucks and the train trucks? How quickly they load them and the pace it's done at. Can you remember any of the stats? They load the rail trucks. It takes them 19 seconds to load 125 tonne into each rail truck. Those figures are pretty big. The train moves at around 3 to 4 kilometres per hour. It doesn't stop while they're loading it unless something goes wrong. So if it's 19 seconds per truck to load, and there's 238 carriages on the truck, if it all goes smoothly, they can load them in under 4 hours and they send them. But there's several different products going down the train line. Most of it goes to China, depending on what they've ordered, and a percentage of it goes to Japan. But I hope you've enjoyed that footage because the numbers and the figures are quite fascinating. As you can see, Margaret's quite consumed by whatever's going on over the back there, but noisy buggers, they're trying to fix the footpaths around here in Tom Price. But yeah, we enjoyed it. It was very interesting. So that's it for today.